Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you all are enjoying the all lessons of geography and history. So the remaining part of history, second chapter, that we are going to continue today, but before that I want to revise what we have learned exactly in a first video, so that we are going to see now. Historiography, the Indian tradition, the second lesson. History, second lesson, historiography. Historiography, Indian tradition. In this we have studied few aspects that already we know, that tradition of Indian historiography, various ideological frameworks, and in this we have studied that the historiography in the medieval period and historiography in the modern period, and also we have studied that the Indian historiography, various ideological frameworks, the Indian historians who given such a valuable contribution for the narrating the books based on history, and also we have studied Orientalist historiography, in that colonial historiography and nationalistic historiography. These three historiography we have studied in previous lecture, and about the Indian authors, Indian historians who focused on the war, battles, and on the biographies of the particular king, queen, and their opinion about the historiography, and how they have used historiography in their daily routine while narrating the books, that we have studied in previous lecture. So next we are going to study today that Marxist historiography, that last time we have studied. Now we are next going to study subaltern history, and then next we are going to discuss today the question answer exercise. We are going to discuss today afterward at the last. So first of all, I want to revise once again the historiography in that Marxist history. So mainly which is related to the industrial area and for the caste system of the Indian country. So once again I want to revise the Marxist historiography. The concern for means of production, modes of production, and the industrial relations were at the center in the writing of Marxist historians. Historians who write about the industrial transitions and about means of productions and modes of productions, about them who writes, those historians are called Marxist historians. I will write first point, Marxist historians. Marxist historians. Marxist history we are going to see, in that Marxist historians who are they who wrote the books related to only for the productive area, productive section of the society, means people who are working in the field, in industrial area and other field also. Now in this we have studied accordingly to analyze the impact of every social event of significance has remained the basic theme of Marxist historiography. Marxist historians in India studied the transition within the caste system. So whatever caste system we have faced in the previously in the society. So what type of transition, the communication took place, how society categorized into the caste system, that study about these all aspects mainly comes into the Marxist history. So next we are going to see this Among the notable Indian historians who adopted Marxist ideological framework, scholars like Damodar Dharmananda Kaushambi, Ram Sharan Sharma, and also Comrade Sharad Patil have contributed notably. Now we are going to see the founder member of the Indian Communist Party, Primitive Communism of Slavery. The book written by represents Marxist historiography. Primitive Communism to Slavery. So one of the community which work as slaves. So on them one book is written by the Marxist historians. So that book mainly wrote by the Marxist historians. Now next point we are going to see subaltern history. Subaltern history. So what exactly is subaltern history that we are going to see now? The seeds of subaltern history are found in the Marxist historiography. The role of Indian historian Antonio Gramsci is very important in developing the idea that history should be written starting from the bottommost ranks of people in the history. So one of the main statement in subaltern historiography. So what is meant by exactly subaltern? Subaltern means history must be written from the base of the event or from the base people who given their contribution. Suppose any field in a battle, who mainly at the beginning played their role, who given a rise for the battle, so that person, from bottom of that person, information must be collected and written in the book. That statement says that subaltern history. So that we are going to see now. History should be written starting from the bottommost ranks of the people in the society. In fact, subaltern means the bottommost rank. Subaltern, meaning of subaltern is bottommost rank. Bottommost rank. Bottommost rank. Bottommost rank. The meaning of subaltern history means bottommost rank, from the bottom of the particular event that we have to study, that is called subaltern history. Now we are going to see in this type of section of history, in the subaltern history, who have given contribution. Folklore has been considered as the very important source of writing subaltern histories. Ranjit Guha, an Indian historian, played a major role in establishing subaltern history as an important academic school of historiography. However, we may point out that much before the onset of subaltern ideology, similar thoughts were expressed by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. The section from the society which works or which facing the trouble, from that bottom we have to collect information and we have to express in writing, that is called subaltern history. So that we are going to see in the next point how the Babasaheb Ambedkar and Mahatma Phule, they both have given a same ideology or same expressed the same opinion in their book. Okay. So Mahatma Jyotirao Phule unfolded the history of Shudra Ati Shudra two words are here, Shudra and Ati Shudra. So the social group is categorized in Shudra first and Ati Shudra. We already know that there is one of the caste system followed by that Vaishya, Shudra and Kshatriya and Brahman. So into the class our society was divided into the past, but that is not followed in today because of with the constitution we have got rights, and Baba Sahib has given special articles and sections for the development of these backward classes. So due to that we means all the sections from the society got a good status and reservation in the field of the government jobs, and they have developed their status of their caste. So due to this we have removed that, but what work they have did on Shudra and Ati Shudra, that we are going to see. Ati Shudra, Shudra and Ati Shudra. Communities in his book Gulamgiri, Mahatma Phule unfolded the history of Shudra and Ati Shudra, how and what exactly problems they have faced in their routine, their daily life, that all points focused by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule in the book of Gulamgiri. He wrote one of the book, Gulamgiri. He drew attention to the exploitation of women, Shudras and Ati Shudras done under the name of religion. We know that our caste system, our society is divided into the 4 classes. So whatever richest one or higher class that have exploited, they had harassed for the work, for the money in the past. So Shudras had faced for the exploitation. The terms Shudra and Ati Shudra indicates the bottommost rank in the caste system. Now we have studied in subaltern history, the bottommost part of the caste system is Shudra. They had considered it as the bottommost part. Shudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya and Brahman. This is one of the caste or class system we have followed in the past, but Shudra is bottommost, one of the lower level and less valuable class which is followed in the past. So Mahatma Jyotirao Phule reached on the bottommost part of the class system. The role of the people belonging to the Dalit caste is very significant in the shaping various cultural and political aspects of India. The role of bottommost people, they are very important for shaping the culture and our tradition. They are following all type of rules of celebrating the festivals of their they preserving our customs, our traditions. So that's why they are very important pillars for the preserving our culture, said by Mahatma Gandhi. However, their role was not duly acknowledged in colonial and nationalistic historiography. Whatever historians we have studied in the history, the historians wrote about the only Britishers' rule and their policies. They don't have paid or focused on the role of this bottommost class system. They neglected these classes or not focused on their rights. So what work did by Baba Sahib for themselves, that we are going to see. Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, focusing on this fact constantly, wrote about it. 2 of the books who were the Shudras and the untouchables may be cited as example of the history of subaltern time. Subaltern time, bottommost history, to reach bottommost part of the particular caste. Baba Sahib Ambedkar wrote 2 books on the subaltern history using historiography. That 2 books are Untouchables and Shudras, to focus on their status and develop to them. For this he worked. One of the major problems which is followed in the past, untouchability. People are accessories. They avoided by the higher classes. So this one of the problem faced by these untouchables. Baba Sahib did the work to focus on their problems and express in front of the society and try to give them their daily rights and necessities. This was did by Baba Sahib. Now this we have studied about our two great social workers, Baba Sahib Ambedkar and Mahatma Jyotirao Phule. They have both given the same opinion on the bottomest caste system in the subaltern history. They use historiography with the subaltern in the section of subaltern history. Now next we are going to see in this chapter the feminist historiography and who are the feminist historians or lady or woman who did valuable contribution for the improving status of women in the society. Okay. Okay students, now we are going to see feminist history. One of the interesting part, third one, feminist history. Related to this, in earlier lecture, this first lecture, previous lecture, we have studied that what is meant by exactly feminist history, and feminist historians have given their contribution for development the status of the woman. So exactly same we are going to see from the India. So over the significant period of time, mainly male scholars were involved in the writing of Indian history. We can see generally many of the historians are male from India also. But some of the women also had took interest and they had wrote some books that we are going to see now. As a result, the role of achievements of the woman in history remained neglected. Highlight this fact was major task faced by the feminist historians. Also, it was important to study compile the historical writings of women. It was also necessary to rethink of women's position in history. As we know how status had women got in the past, due to that thought, women's or feminist historians, means women who wrote the books, they have totally neglected by the society, by the people, and mainly more focused on the male historians. So elsewhere we have to change this status, this thought, and afterward people are started to focus on the writings of the women historians and their work in the history and rethink about their statement. That we are going to see one of the famous feminist historian that we from India. Among the women's authors writing about women in the 19th century, Tarabai Shinde was the foremost one of the leading writer who wrote the books. She narrated the books while using historiography. Tarabai Shinde in the 19th century. She wrote attacking the male-dominated social system and caste system. One main point I want to ask you, and already I asked in 9th standard, in 8th standard, in every class, is there male-dominated or woman-dominated, female-dominated rule or control in your home or house? So many of the students given answer different that in our home that female dominated control is there or male dominated. So exactly on a society there was an impact today also in India. Male dominated, male controlled society is there. So against this thought, Tarabai Shinde wrote and given her statements. And another one point, caste system. She criticized and given her statement against the caste system which had followed into the past. So next we are going to see which book she wrote for the development of the society. Her book Stri Purush Tulna, published in 1982, is acknowledged as the first feminist book in India. In 1888, the book written by Pandita Ramabai was published, entitled The High Caste Hindu Woman. The High Caste Hindu Woman. So before that we have to talk on the book wrote by Tarabai Shinde, and after that Pandita Ramabai wrote the book. So Tarabai Shinde wrote the book Stri Purush Tulna. So we can see through the title she mainly criticized and focused on the male dominated system in India and another caste system. And then her book Stri Purush Tulna is acknowledged as the first feminist historical book, considered as the first feminist book in the India in 1888. In 1882, and after that in 1888 the book wrote by Pandita Ramabai was published, and the name of the book is The High Caste Hindu Woman. So these two feminist historians were found into India. They have given their valuable contribution for the history to empower the status of women. Now the feminist literature of the post-independence era concentrated on the issues like employment of women, treatment meted out them at their workplace. We can see women didn't got that much great value in their work, or they not got even respect. Sometimes they had neglected for the work because there was one of the thought in male dominated mind that into the society that the women are unable to work like a man. So this thought spread into the society, and that time these both women have focused on the jobs, these employments of the women and the status they had got at the place of work. Mainly they want to improve their status. Issues like employment of women, treatment meted out to them at their workplace, their right to political equality, etc. Right to political equality. How the male dominated society had the right for the politics. So women also need to take a part into the politics. So they have focused main issue, political rights. Among the recently published feminist literature, Meera Kosambi's book Crossing Thresholds, feminist essays in the social history is of importance. It contains essays on the life stories of women like Pandita Ramabai and Dr. Rukmabai, the first practicing lady doctor of India. The first practicing lady, Dr. Rukmabai, the first practicing lady doctor of India, and a lot of literature is available unfolding the viewpoint of Dalit woman in Maharashtra. Where many other literatures are there for the unfold the history, to focus on the history and keep in front of the society the problems of Dalit women. Dr. Sharmila Rege's work is noteworthy in this context. Her book Writing Caste, Writing Gender, Reading Dalit Women's Testimonies includes her essays on the autobiographies of Dalit women. She took the autobiographies of Dalit women and she had focused the problems critically which is faced by Dalit women. The Dr. Sharmila Rege's work. Valuable work in the field of feminist historiography. Here we have studied the feminist historiography. Now we are next going to see in this only the remaining part of this chapter. Okay. Okay, now here we can see there have been a number of Indian historians who wrote without embracing a particular ideology. Among them, historians like Sir Jadunath Sarkar, Surendranath Sen, also Riyazkar, G.S. Sardesai and Triambak Shankar Shejwalkar are the noteworthy. In the recent times of historians like Yashwant Dinkar, Phadke, Ramachandra Guha, etc. have contributed extensively to the historiography of modern India. Thus, it is evident that the Indian historiography has been influenced greatly by the social and political movements. Indian historiography was also developed outside the influence of these movements. Now we have studied that how the Indian historians have given their contribution for the development of our culture and our social condition. But with that they have used historiography, that also we have studied well. So few were the historians name we have seen here. So with that, at the last influence of this movement, given the grief for the using historiography in the section of history. So here we have studied the second lesson of history. The name of lesson is historiography, Indian tradition. So in Indian tradition, which are the historians have given their valuable contribution for the improvement and development of the subaltern or bottommost section of the society. So with using historiography and their writings, with their books also, we took information more about it. So in this second chapter we have studied well about the modern historiography of India. So now we are preaching towards the exercise of this lesson, and we will discuss and we will share the answer and we will write in a notebooks. Okay, now we are going to see the exercise. So first I am going to see, choose the correct option from the given options and complete the sentences. First question is, complete the sentences by choosing correct option. So four options are there, from that one we have to choose as an answer. So first question I am going to read now. What is it? So first one, dash dash was the first Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India. We have already studied the under the one of the British officer. The survey started into the India for study of history. So four options are there. So first we will see which are the four options. The first option is there, Alexander Cunningham. Second one is William Jones, and third one is John Marshall, and fourth one D, Friedrich Max Müller. So Friedrich Max Müller is the fourth option. Now answer for the question we are going to see, dash dash was means Alexander Cunningham was the first Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India. The answer is first one, Alexander Cunningham. If you have a textbook in your hand now, just so point the answer, otherwise you can write directly into the notebook. Now we are reaching towards the second question from the fill in the blanks. Second question we are going to see now. Dash dash translated the Sanskrit text of Hitopdesh. We have seen that one of the famous historian, the foreigner, who used to translate the Sanskrit text of Hitopdesh. So 4 options we have in our text. We are going to see the first one, James Mill. Second one, Mountstuart Elphiston, and fourth one, Sir John Marshall. So in that option number second is the answer for the second question of fill in the blanks. So answer is Friedrich Max Müller translated the Sanskrit text of Hitopdesh. Answer is Friedrich Max Müller translated the Sanskrit text of Hitopdesh. Now we are going to see B question from our text. Identify the wrong pair in the following, correct and rewrite. Here we can see the 3 commands are there. How we have discussed in the last video, same. We have to attempt this question. We have to work in 3 separate perspectives. So how? First of all, we have to identify which one is wrong. Second one, we have to correct it. How it will be correct one. And third one, what attempt we have going to do, that we have to rewrite again one time. So we are going to see the first statement given here, which is wrong or right, that you have to decide. I will also tell you what is exactly. So first statement is, who were the Shudras? So we have deeply studied about the Shudras, and in that the Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Babasaheb Ambedkar given their valuable contribution to with their bottomist study of in subaltern history, and they have focused and expressed the problems and the harassment of one of the lower section from the society, that Shudra. So answer means the statement, is it correct or wrong, that we are going to see. So who were the Shudras? Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. So in front of that they have wrote the name Babasaheb Ambedkar, and exactly Babasaheb Ambedkar only have expressed very well who were the Shudras in his writing. The name of book is that we are going to see. The name of book is Who Were the Shudras and the Untouchables. So these 2 books wrote by Babasaheb Ambedkar and express focus, given more attention towards the Shudras. So this statement is correct, first one. So no need to attempt or rewrite again. This is already correct. So second one we are going to see, Stri Purush Tulna. So we have studied this section into the feminist historiography, and Stri Purush Tulna wrote by Ramabai Shinde. We already know that well. We have studied now just only. So Stri Purush Tulna, she critically focused on the male-dominated section, male-dominated viewpoint, perspective in the society. So that's why she want to focus and improve the status of women. So that's why she wrote one of the book. The name of that book is called Stri Purush Tulna, and the correct statement is this, that Stri Purush Tulna, feminist historiography or feminist history, from this section we got. So this statement also is correct. Stri Purush Tulna, we got this from feminist history. This statement is also correct. Now we are going to see third one, the Indian War of Independence 1857. We know the Indian War of Independence 1857, so Battle of Panipat, 1857 we can say in Marathi, 1857. So about the Marathas and also the war, we well know about Panipat battle. So here they given this statement came from the Marxist history. So we have to find out exactly, is it from Marxist history or another colonial history or Oriental history or nationalistic history. That we have to find out this statement came from which section. So Marxist history is not exactly correct, because Marxist history is considered for the industrial transition or the mode of production or medium of production which work, or slavery, about the people who are the slave working in the society. So all industrial relations or transitions came into the Marxist history, and the main point is about the independence, the war of independence. It comes into the nationalistic history. So nationalistic history is the answer for the third one. We have to correct it and we have to write it again. How you will write? See, the Indian War of Independence 1857. In front of that you have to give it a dash, and you have to write there the nationalistic history. Third segment over. Now we are going to see the fourth one last. Grand Duff, colonial history. One of the British author, British historian who wrote the books, many were the books, and he mainly focused on the Indian culture and Indian tradition, and also he focused on British policies also. But he's more writing on Maharashtrian Maratha warriors. So here we are going to correct the statement that Grand Duff in front of in the text given colonial history, but exactly this is not correct. The correct statement is that Grand Duff Maratha history. Maratha history. You have to correct it according to my statement. Okay. Now we are going to see explain the following with its reason. All questions we are going to discuss now only. Okay. Okay students, now we are going to see second one, explain the following with the reasons. Reasons you have to give in a particular way with the points. So see first question, writing of the regional history received a momentum. While writing regional history, regional is particular, related to particular region, that got a momentum. Momentum means they got a grip, that got a grip, speed. Why it got a speed? So main reason is in particular region, many were the regions had faced the caste system, social condition, that the discrimination amongst the people, the low status of the woman, child labor, many were the problems faced by society. For the improvement, these all kind of things, for this all sections, the history writing got a momentum. So exactly we can see, mainly our society faced, first of all, caste system. It is categorized into the four sections, that Shudra, Vaishya and Kshatriya and Brahmin, that is followed into the society, and in that Shudras at the bottommost part of the caste system, and they were exploited with the highest class in the past. This is the history. So to improvement of that exploited section, the momentum got by the history. The historians mainly focused on these points of the social conditions. And another one point, our country which had faced which is controlled by other foreign power, and we had struggled for the independence. During that period, many were the people from the country felt that we must be independent. For that many were the wars and events took place, so that are mentioned by historians in their writings. So whenever we will see the regional history, that time mainly the historians focus to improve the status of each caste, and also they try to improve the status of women, and also they have focused on the events which took place, or wars took place, or the struggles or strikes took place for the freedom of our country. So due to that all points, the regional history got momentum in the past. Okay, this is the answer for the first question, and many were the historians given their statement on this. Now second question we are going to see now. Bakhar is an important type of historical document. We can see Bakhar we have studied very well already. So Bakhar, how it is very important that we are going to see. Once again I want to revise. Bakhar is important type of historical document of medieval times. It is contains eulogies of the heroes and stories of historical events. Bakhar. In a Bakhar, mainly it contains the stories of heroes and historic events, battles and wars, lives of great men. For example, Gautam Buddha, also Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, also Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj. About this great person, the information it contains into the Bakhar that we have studied, and about which person Bakhar we have studied, that I want to tell you. Marathi Bakhars are various types. Sabhasad Bakhar was written by Krishnaji Ananta Sabhasad during the region of Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj. It is important Bakhar for the getting information about the rule of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. During the period of Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj, Ananta Sabhasad, Krishnaji Ananta Sabhasad wrote one of the Bakhar which gives more information about the rule of Sri Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Next also we have studied that Bahu Sahebanchi Bakhar. The Bahu Sahib, whenever we listen this name, the Bahu Sahib who given his valuable contribution in the battle of Panipat. So about his valor we get more information. The Bakhar is called Bahu Sahebanchi Bakhar. And on the battle of Panipat, another famous Bakhar is there, that is called Panipatchi Bakhar, and also about the Holkars who given the valuable contribution for the freedom of Marathas. So Holkaranchi Bakhar. So in Bakhar we can get more information about the heroes and their battles, stories, wars. This is the one type of autobiography we can get more information through the Bakhar for the narration of history. Got it? Now next one. We are going to see the next question. Answer the following in 25 to 30 words. First question we are going to see in this. Which things are included in the descriptions by Emperor Babur in his autobiography? Firstly, I want to tell you, autobiography means it is related to a person. The whole information about the person, how he lived his whole life, what type of battles, what kind of rules, what kind of policies, what kind of observation he did, what kind of negative things he implemented, what kind of positive things he did in his empire. That all things comes into the autobiography that we are going to see. So what kind of points are mentioned in the autobiography of Babur that we are going to see. So we have studied that about Babur's autobiography. Mainly we will see in this. So various empires and kingdoms are also important. That for study of history that we are going to see now. So here Babur, the founder of Mughal Empire, wrote autobiography entitled Tuzak-e-Babri. It contains the description of the battles fought by him. First point it contains battle whichever he fought, and second point, Babur also recorded his minute, his all kind of work, and also observation of various regions and sites. So in which field he roamed, he wandered, his all observation he did, that about that observation information collected and written into the autobiography of Babur. And next, last one, also local economy, customs and the flora. So flora, whenever about the flora and fauna, about the tree and plants information, and also about the economy and customs which were followed in the empire of Babur during his period. All these points have added into the autobiography of the Babur. So next question we are going to see after this, which we have to answer in 25 to 30 words. What is the contribution of Swatantra Veer Savarkar to the nationalistic historiography? For the nationalistic historiography, that the contribution of Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, means V.D. Savarkar, so that we are going to see. Movement of Indian people against the British. The War of Indian Independence 1857, written by Vinayak by importance. The nationalistic historiography provided momentum to the writing of regional histories. Why mainly we have to focus, and why the regional history got a momentum? Because that was the period to get the freedom for them. Many were the people struggling for it. So as a result, attention of historians was drawn to the geographic conditions and history of the South Indian regions. So many were the historians focused mainly on the freedom struggle and war of the independence with the due to the one of the book wrote by Swatantra Veer Savarkar. The name of the book is The Indian War of Independence. So due to this, the many of the historians started to focus on and give the momentum to the regional historiography, and it well developed in India, and it given for the freedom struggle. It given grip to the freedom struggle. Next one question we are going to see from this. Fourth question, write detailed answer to the following questions. You have to write detailed answer, then you can easily get answer in the text. What is Marxist history? I think 3 or 4 times we have discussed Marxist historiography, which is related to industrial transitions and for the productive and mode of productive system, productive class from the society, and also caste system. So mainly about slaves. It is focused in the Marxist historiography. The historians focused on the caste system and also on the industrial section. So you have to find out the answer from the Marxist historiography, and you have to write the answer. Next few questions are there. What is the contribution of Itihasacharya V.K. Rajwade to the historiography? Itihasacharya V.K. Rajwade is his valuable contribution. We don't have to forget. We have to write more information about him into the question. And next, fifth one, complete the following chart. I am going to give you the 4th and 5th question for your homework. And James Mill, the history of British India, means authors and their books, means historians and their books which have they wrote about that books. You have to write the names. So 5th also, and in the 5th B question is there, complete the following concept chart. So one of the concept chart is given here. The purpose of historiography, the Ziauddin Bahrani, and again descriptions of the battles fought by Babur. So concept chart is given there already, you have to complete it. And last sixth question is there, explain the following concepts. Oriental historiography means what, that you have to write again. Nationalistic historiography means exactly what, and subaltern history means what exactly, you have to write there. I have explained, I clearly explained here. Critically I did this work to explain in front of you what are these three sections: subaltern history, feminist historiography, and also the Oriental historiography, colonial historiography. So these are all 4 points you have to study well and write about them into your notebook. Here it is now our second lesson of history, that historiography, modern historiography in modern age, how we used, that we have studied. Historiography, Indian tradition, that second lesson is over now, and here today I will stop and we will meet in the next lecture with the geography subject. Thank you so much.